at the start they've got that race pack, which is cool, and I've seen some of the unboxing of it as well, and I think that's probably part of the exciting moment when you deliver the party and the medals at the end. Do they have a similar format? How does that normally go?
We usually, that's all revealed beforehand. It'd be fun
Yeah.
to make the parties sort of a surprise, but logistically it doesn't work because people are trying to plan their accommodation to be nearby it, especially if we're finishing a larger city. And some people, to really conserve their annual leave, will like fly home after the party and stuff like that. So we thought about doing an event at some point where the end isn't known ahead of time, and
Yeah.
we'd pre-arrange accommodation and even their flight back to the start line, or give them the option of having their flight back to the start line pre-arranged, because we're starting to register Lupine Racing as a tour operator to handle some of the events we're starting to organise that include accommodation. But no, so that's all like announced ahead of time. We don't have a surprise in that bit, no. Um,
Okay.
yeah, it's interesting. What I was saying about the physical, you were saying about the unboxing and stuff. It's one thing we find is really interesting trying to cater to all the different things, because some people absolutely love the challenge packs and the art in them, and then there's other people that don't even collect one at the start line. They just wait for the backup PDF version to come through in their email, because it's not what they're there for. They're there for the challenge. They're not there for the art in the pack, whereas other people absolutely love the art. Some people don't, even as beautiful as they are, some people don't take the medal because it's just not something that interests them, whereas other
Yeah.
people absolutely love them and share photos of them online, and it's a prized possession on their wall. So it's incredible to see the different perceptions of every element of an event.
Yeah, that diversity across the main of people who want to remain very hands off about an event, and they're thankful that you've set it up, but realistically to them, they just want to turn up on the day and just get on with it, and then probably not see anybody till they finished it and just go, tick, all finished. That was great. Thank you very much. And then you've got the other people who are really there about the sense of community that you've built, and and they love that too. And it's great that you're still able to cater to both without having to differentiate what you do too much, really. One of the main things that we're trying to cover here is what makes the difference between a good event and a great event. If you were to kind of summarize from your experience what's made your event different from a good event into a great event, what would you highlight as one of the things that would put it in that direction?
I think it's the ability to try and condense as much experience as possible into a certain period of time.
Hmm.
There's a frequent thing we get at the end of the events is, they've been traveling for 4 days, but they feel like it's been 2 weeks because they've experienced so much in that time. They've made so many friends, and it's sort of maybe the intensity of the experience could be one way of looking at it. And that way, yeah, they've got so much adrenaline and passion and enjoyment in such a short period of time. I think that's something that really helps keep people coming back and wanting to come back for more. Yeah, you look at some other events, and I've done some of the half marathons in London, and it's just amazing the amount of people by the side of the road, and the music and everything that's there. That level of, and you feel like you've not been running for 2 hours. You feel like you've got a weekend's worth of memories in those 2 hours.
Okay, creating memories and putting a whole lot of experience in whatever time you've kind of given to the event. What would you say is a key thing that you've done that would make a difference if you were going to start it again, tomorrow? What was the main tip you'd tell yourself that you need to focus on doing?
The things that differentiate you, and the things to, when you're trying to look at what to outsource to suppliers and other people, is focus on keeping in-house what makes you unique. So try to identify what makes you different and put as much of your energy as you can into that as possible. The
Yeah.
world is quite oversaturated with events and activities and things we could all be doing. So maybe don't deprioritize everything, but if your other areas aren't as stand out, you do need to resolve that, but really just make sure you're really putting your 100%, 110% into your differentiators.
Yeah, I suppose with events, like you say, it can be quite oversaturated in the market at the minute. I suppose as well, awareness plays a big part in that. Things are easier to be aware of these days as people get better at marketing event, because if we then flip back to things like sport and you've got 10 running events, all of them roughly the same, they're all 10 kilometers, they've all got the same amount of people who enter it, but for some reason, one of them stands out better than the other one. It's about finding out what that better is and then doubling down on it like you guys have done. And you've gone from Are people more engaged in the community, the challenge, the straight A to B, and finding out which one of those it is, or at least prioritizing them and going, this is the top thing that people love. Let's really push on that, and the others will just grow as part of the funnel. We've whizzed through the questions today. I really appreciate you jumping on the podcast. It's been really good to have you on. You've been a font of information about something really quite unique. What's coming up for you that's exciting? You say about Japan.
Yeah, we're trying to flesh out our calendar for 2027, and we're starting to get just a bit more ambitious with where we're operating events. So we've mostly focused on Europe and Morocco, and then we've got Japan this year. But next year we're going to be doing an event which will start in Eastern Europe and head over to the Caucasus, so Georgia, Azerbaijan, or Armenia. That finish up
Wow.
in that sort of area. And then we're working on another one. We're going to start doing ones in Central Asia as well. It's where it'll be somewhere between a tour and with maybe single 1 day challenges within it. It's a harder region to just let people go crazy in, but yeah, try to just expand into more regions really. Yeah, so we're really excited about that, sort of pushing ourselves. We've got all our group tours. We've already run group tours in basically all of those destinations, so that makes half of the challenge easier. But in terms of how do you make these sort of challenges work in some of these countries, it's really exciting trying to put that together for sure.
Yeah, I suppose that's your own internal kind of challenge that you enjoy there is like, we want to put something on there. What do we need to learn and know to then actually put that on at a successful level? Because you can't just copy and paste from one place to the other, because
No.
all the travel styles are different. The boundaries are different between certain places as well, which I'm sure you found as well. How many people are there in your team that kind of get involved in doing this, or is it just you, or is it you and a couple of others? How many get involved in setting it up?
In terms of the full crime team on Lupine Racing, it's basically just been me since the beginning. Although we have Carlton, who's coming in full time, basically at the moment, who's a regular participant of ours, who's been making a lot of our social media content, but she's
Cool.
coming in to help with all the event design. Got people events. So yeah, it's been me for a while, but it's getting gears. It's been great to kind of have more feedback on what's a good idea before and afterwards. We also have like a Discord server where when we have new ideas, we put out polls to a lot of our regular participants, and the feedback from them, it's almost like having extra people on the team kind of going, oh, that's a really bad idea, or that's a really good idea, and help steer us in the correct direction as well.
That's good, is kind of, putting your ear to the ground and having, a Discord group where you can kind of float these ideas to people who have been with you the longest, who know what it's like to participate in them and go, well, that will work or that won't work. And that's quite interesting, actually. I've kind of toyed with the idea myself of having some sort of community within what I do, but it's a little bit different where I'm kind of the supplier of something as opposed to the organizer of something, to get a community together of like-minded individuals. But thank you very much anyway, James, for your time today on the Zero Wasted Words podcast. It's been awesome having you on. We'll get this kind of clipped up and sorted as soon as, and then I will probably catch you around at some other point. I'm sure we're probably due to speak in the next couple of weeks or so.